What's going on, everyone? It is Bucky here, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys your very first tutorial in the C programming language. Now, C is a little different than C++. It came out before C++, but due to a high demand of people wanting me to teach this language, here I am teaching it. So the first thing I need you guys to do is open your compiler. I'm using my dev C++ compiler, and if you guys don't know how to get this, I already made a tutorial on how to download this compiler and test to see if it's running, and I will include that tutorial on the right side of your screen in the description box. So if you guys don't have a compiler yet, just click on that link and it will teach you how to download and test your C++ compiler. The next thing you want to do is get a new source file, and you do that by clicking File, New Source File, and once you have one open, you're going to want to put File, Save As, and you can name it whatever you want. And you're going to want to save it as a C source file, then click Save. I already have one open, so I'm going to go ahead and close this one, and I have one open called Work C. So once you have that open, you're ready to go ahead and start typing. So let's get started learning the C programming language. The first thing you always do, or usually, you're going to want to include something called a preprocessor. Now what a preprocessor does is after you type this code, you're going to want to translate it into machine code, ones and zeros, that the computer can run. But before you want to translate it into ones and zeros, you're going to want to include something to tell the computer how to use this information you just got it. So it's a lot easier after I just show you guys. So go ahead, type the pound sign, or the number sign, some of you might call it, and type include, and then put a less than sign and put stdio.h, and then put the greater than sign. And what this is going to do right here is it's going to include your standard input and output header. And with this, anytime you include something, it pretty much gives you a list of functions that you can use to in your program. And since we're gonna just be printing basic text out on the screen, we're gonna be using a function called printf. Now if we didn't include this, then when you wrote printf on the screen, your compiler is gonna go, alright, what the H does printf mean? But since we included this, printf is a function within this header. So now we can use a whole list of functions, and printf is included in one of them. The next thing that you need to do when making a C program, after including the headers that you need to include, and this is the only one I'm going to teach you guys in this tutorial, you're going to want to write int, let me move this, main, and in parentheses write the word void. Now what this does is this: every C program has a function called main that your computer knows, alright, I need to run this function first. And that's pretty much why you have main in all of your programs, since C is going to look for this program right here, main, and it's going to run this one first. And now if you're asking, alright, what does int and void mean? Every function can return a value. Now in this case, that's all you really need to know for now. The int stands for integer, and this function is going to return an integer value, but we're going to be talking about that later. And void in your parentheses means that it just takes an argument, and void means, alright, we're not taking any arguments, or it's not asking for any info right now. So again, the only thing you really need to know off of all this is pretty much that main is the first thing that C looks for. These are the functions that we're going to have the printf function, and that's included in this. This is why we're able to use that. And this other stuff I'm going to be teaching you guys in other tutorials, but I just need to have it in this one. But I'll be going into depth in it in later tutorials, so make sure to check along there. Alright, and again, as I said, main is the first function that C looks for. And if you say, alright, what's a function? A function is pretty much just a set of instructions that you tell your computer what to do. And all of the instructions go in curly braces right here. You have an opening brace and a closing curly brace, and anything you type inside it is pretty much the instructions. So this main is pretty much like a recipe, and what we're going to be typing in here is like a step-by-step of what to do. So the first thing we want to do is output just basic text on the screen that says hello world. But you just don't write hello world like that. You need to do a special function, and that's printf, which is our print function that we are able to use because of this right here. And then in your parentheses you have to add 2 double quotes, and inside here you write hello world. In the double quotations right here, this tells C that it's a string of text. So that's why we're able to write hello world in your printf function. And after every single statement you need a semicolon. So again, write printf, and this either means like print file or print function or something like that. I don't know what it is, but it's printf. In your parentheses add quotation marks, and then write hello world. And you have to end every single statement with a semicolon, and the semicolon means alright, see, this is the end of your instruction, you can move on to the next line. And after this, here, I'm going to show you guys what this does right here. If you execute, compile, and run, it's going to compile, and it takes a little bit to compile, and then a box, I don't know if you guys can see it on YouTube, but a box is just going to flash up on your screen real quick. It just did. And this is because in C, your computer automatically knows, alright, run all this, and when it's done, I want you just to exit the program. But we're like, hey, we want to see actually what we just did. So we're going to want to include another function, and that's get ch. And all this stands for is get character. Now this is useful when you sometimes when you like want to input data in you're going to want to save it, like if it says enter your name, you're going to want to save it and stuff. But for this function right here, we're just going to say, alright, print hello world on the screen, and we just want you to get a character, not for any information purposes, but we just want you to wait, pause, and wait for us to type any letter on the screen just so we can see what we actually did. So let me execute this, compile and run, and after it compiles, as you guys can see, here's our program that just compiled and ran. Instead of just running all this and exiting, see this little blinking line right there? That means it's waiting for us to get a character. That's what that little blinking line means. So whenever I press anything on my keyboard, let me press H, that's when it goes on to the rest of the code and it exits the program. So this is your very first program right here. Again, to recap one last time, we included a header that allowed us to use a couple built-in functions, and again we put all those functions in the main program, since this is the first thing that it looks for when running a program, and all we did is print basic text to the screen. So in the next tutorial, I don't know what I'm going to be teaching you guys, but it's most likely going to be awesome. So again, I'll be making a bunch of these tutorials, so if you want to learn C, check out the rest of these tutorials. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.